Hello, we are here at the Fan Museum. At the moment, Sunderland AFC are celebrating Founders Week, so we thought we'd pop down here to find some interesting items from Sunderland's history. Let's go and have a look. So we're here with Michael Ganley, the founder of the Fans Museum. Michael, thanks for speaking to us here on Founders Week as well, the founder of the Fan Museum. You're going to take us through some items, aren't you, today here? And we're going to start with this one, which is very special to you, I guess. Tell us the story about how you acquired this.
This one here needs no introduction really, but the name says it all, Ian Porterfield. Yeah. His jacket that he walked out Wembley 1973. And a prized possession, obviously, and one that rekindled so many memories for people over the age of 50, more so. The item itself, though, was located in Ukraine around about 12 years ago now. I purchased it. After some investigation, prior to buying it, I basically bought it with the trust of the gentleman, who then informed me that was actually in a charity shop, which was ready to be given to the homeless.
And as you say, an iconic piece of Sunderland's history now here in the Fan Museum. How does items like this end up around the world? What's the usual route, or are they all different?
Yeah, I think with the players of their sort of career as well, obviously Ian did go over to Busan. It could have been a gift, and from that, it obviously has found its way in this charity shop, and a lovely gentleman being able to spot something and basically just sent me a message saying, would I be interested in buying this?
Fantastic. And how do you know the authenticity of it? Do you ask the other 73 members of the squad to come and have a look at this, and maybe Bobby Kerr said, yep, that's Ian's?
I'm privileged to have more than one. I checked the zip, I checked the detail around the pockets, down to the stitching, but also, you know, the initial viewing of the item where it showed the international umbro. It wasn't something that was made as a replica. The tag, how the tag was stitched in, went to the nth degree, and then obviously, you know, just press that button, you know, payment sent by PayPal. And from that, then it was just that 6-week turnaround. But yeah, it's a lovely piece.
So we're in another room here at the Fans Museum with Michael. Michael, what is the next item you want to show us? Do you want to get it down and tell us all about this one?
This one here, obviously, is again, minimal introduction to a synonymous goal scoring machine. So Super Kev, a synonymous day, v West Ham, and also a little token to the fans with his hands flashing up 3 times, indicating 30 goals.
And that was significant because he got the
European Golden Shoe.
Yes.
Only Englishman ever to do it. We know that Harry Kane's now done it out in Germany, but
that doesn't count in England. You know, this is what it's all about.
Exactly. Yeah. So Kevin, obviously, somebody who's, you know, fell in love with Sunderland, and
it happens quite a lot, doesn't it, through history?
Yeah.
Gets under your skin, as someone once said. Yeah.
So they say. But Kevin, being the person he is, obviously, he come back, he helped out obviously at South Shields, and his heart and soul is actually in Sunderland as well. So, but Kev's become a very good friend and a massive ambassador to the Fans Museum. But shirts like these, you know, they are one-offs, part of our club's fabric, part of our club's heritage. And we have got bragging rights to, you know, make that statement of the European Golden Shoe. But Kevin, amazing goal scoring machine.
So let's have a look at another item down here at the Fan Museum. Michael, what do you have here?
Another piece of historical evidence. This ball represents not just an amazing man, but obviously an amazing score, but also another piece of history. Nick Sharkey.
Yep.
It's the match ball v Norwich from 1963. A synonymous team, a team throughout with great pedigree, but also Nick scored 5 goals with this ball, equaling another amazing man, Charlie Buchan from 1913 v Liverpool. So again, Nick, amazing man, who sadly passed away. somebody who I managed to play many games of golf with, and what a lovely, lovely gent. And just I'm proud to have something like this within the museum, and obviously share Nick's story, but also show the evidence of the ball and how it's evolved from 60 years ago to what we play with now.
Yeah, and you've got some other famous names on there, because that squad at the time, there's some real legends in there. Just give us an idea who else has signed this ball.
Well, we've got a certain gentleman called Arthur Wright here who signed it, who was part of the team coaching. We've got obviously the King, Charlie Hurley, Len Shackleton. We've got Monty on there, Stan Anderson. We've got George Hurd. We've got some amazing names and amazing characters who still reside in the area as well.
And can people come down to the museum and touch items like this, Michael, at the fan museum?
Yeah, that's why we are the only museum of its kind in the world. Where these are normally behind glass, my statement was to break the glass, give people that empowerment for them to actually hold, feel, and just understand the power of items.
Very significant items in Sunderland's history.
Immensely.
So we're going to have a look now at one of the oldest pieces in the collection, and a very significant piece as well, Michael. What's this you've got here?
So this here is a lovely league winners medal from 1901-02, and that belonged to Ted Doig, synonymous goalkeeper, not only from the hemi-painting but wearing that cap and just his exploits on the pitch.
A fantastic item, and Ted had quite an interesting career, didn't he? But he had quite a sad end to his life as well, didn't he?
Yeah, obviously Ted, being the goalkeeper he was, obviously he left Sunderland, like players do, and ended up in Liverpool with our former manager, gentleman Tom Watson. And then maybe, I think it's about 10 years ago or so now, I was invited by Liverpool and the Doig family to partner with Sunderland Football Club. There was Jimmy Montgomery, Rob Mason, and I went down, and it was more about raising the awareness of this gentleman, but also to commemorate, obviously, locating his grave, which didn't have a headstone on, which is heartbreaking. But obviously Sunderland and Liverpool got together, paid for the headstones for Ted and Tom, and I was as part of the day, and obviously it was good that the family saw this medal, because it was quite a significant one for Ted as well.
Yeah, a wonderful piece of the collection here down at the Fan Museum. So we're moving on to another item here at the Fan Museum, and actually it's another couple of items in this situation here, Michael, because not only do you have Fabio Barini's shirt from the League Cup final in 2014, but you also have his boots and the match ball. But tell us a bit about your experience of that day. Obviously, we didn't get the win in the end, but there was a great moment, wasn't there, in that first half?
Yeah, obviously Fabio scored the goal, and obviously the only goal scorer since Ian Porterfield in '73 to score at Wembley. Fabio, obviously, iconic, not just on the pitch with his celebration, but an amazing guy. He supported the Anthony Nolan Trust, which was a blood cancer. And again, the morning after I got notified, would I be interested? And from that, obviously the words were yes, even though that day before was obviously a big heartbreaking day. It was the fact that it was not just keeping a piece of Sunderland's history within Sunderland, but also doing something to support blood cancer. It went to auction, and I was the winner, but then I found myself obviously not just buying the shirt, but obviously buying his boots as well from the day, which...
So these are the ones that he actually scored with?
Yep, on the outside of his right foot, and he signed it there, which was a marvellous goal to take us 1-0 up, but not so much short-lived. It was an amazing experience, amazing day. I've never drove for 5.5 hours singing, but that was the day before with my daughter.
And it was a good campaign, wasn't it? The cup run in particular, of course, a famous semi-final victory as well. And then, because it was our first visit for a number of years to Wembley, there was a real buzz around the city. It was the scramble for tickets. Can you remember that as well? There was all the Mackhams in Sunderland, everywhere you looked around London as well, wasn't it? It was fantastic day.
Yeah, it was a great day. Obviously, the game down Manchester United just set the tone. It was one of those games where, you know, we deserved that break. We got that break because I believe that all of Manchester had already bought out all of the corporate. So they thought it was a Man City, Man United derby. Obviously, we went along and spoilt the day, which was amazing, and obviously took over London as well. But yeah, the lead up, it was just everywhere you went. It was just red and white scarves of Sunderland. Powerful, very, very powerful. I was able to take my daughter, which she wore one of my shirts from 1979, and it was just, you know, creating a bond and that opportunity to share my passion and instill it on my daughter. Bless her.